colouring friends, my name's Amanda and this is my channel, Amanda Colours. I hope you are doing really well today, and my beautiful little friend Emerald is here and she wants to say hello. She is a little sea turtle. Yes, she is. And she wanted me to let you know, in case you didn't know, that 90% of Australians live on the coast. So the land size of Australia is roughly about the same size as the mainland USA. But because the centre of our country, or actually there are a number of parts of our country that are just completely uninhabitable. It's just far too hot, far too dry, and so people don't live there. So we tend to live on the coast. So yeah, 90% of our population lives along the coast, and most of it on the east coast. So there you go. I have another fun video for you today, or at least I hope it's going to be fun. And that is giving you a bit of a look at these new Arrtx acrylic markers. So I did recently show you the Arrtx SimTap acrylic markers, and you can see that video up in the iCards, and a link for that will be in the description. But these ones are a little bit different. So this is a 36 colour set, and it's actually liquid ink. And the other good thing is there's no pumping to get the ink flowing in the pens. So I found it very messy with the SimTap pens to get them going, particularly the first time. But these pens are supposed to not need pumping. So let's have a bit of a look. So inside we have a little Arrtx card, a little thank you that they always send. And then we have our first row of pens. They actually look a little bit like Sharpies in their design. And then there is another row underneath. And yeah, so there's 36 colours. And I do need to mention that Arrtx did actually send these to me for me to try. So they're watercolour, they've got a brush tip, and they work on a various number of surfaces. They claim that they have a better coverage with fewer pen marks as well. And so on the back here we have the swatch chart. There isn't actually any chart inside for you to create your own swatches, so I'll just be doing it on some paper. But yeah, I'm really interested to give them a go. So it does say to shake them well before use, but other than that there's supposed to be no preparation. So let's have a look. Let's grab, I am so drawn to purple at the moment. Let's put it around this way so you can see the pretty colours there. Gonna give it a shake. And I'm going to bring in my little, this is a book I just used that's got some lovely thick paper, and I use it to do some swatching and some scribbling. So let's have a look. I'm guessing that is going to be enough shaking, so you can actually see the ink, the acrylic ink coming through here. It isn't exactly fully shaken, but you can also see through little areas on the barrel, so you can actually see how much ink or paint you actually have left, which is really good. It does remind you to recap after use, and it says that it's got strong coverage. So let's just have a little bit. Okay, it does go down very nicely. There is some flexibility in the brush, which is nice. It looks like it's a foam brush. So let's put the lid back on that. I'm going to give it a bit of a test to see if it will cover the black lines here. Okay, it is pretty good coverage initially. I don't know if you can see that, but the lines are coming through a little bit, and we are also getting a little bit of streaking, but this is just putting it down with one layer, no going over it. I might leave that to dry a little bit. I just noticed too that there are stickers on the lids with the colour number and a little reminder to shake them before you use them. I'm actually going to try colouring in a book. So I have this book here, Mid-Century Modern Patterns by Jen Ski, and I actually bought this second hand. So someone had already coloured in it in a couple of spots, but it is quite thick. paper, which is nice. So there's this one here, and I'm going to try and cover some of this, and let's just see how these pencils, these markers hold up. I'm going to open it up like this. I am going to use similar colors to kind of help it a little bit, but let's just see, hey? Okay, so let's go in and see what we can create. Now it is going to be helped by the fact that I'm using similar colors. This will be more of a test down here, I should think. But it does seem to be going down pretty well. Again, with just one layer, it's not really going down as opaque as I would like, but I'm guessing that that's just the way it's going to be, because I haven't found anything that goes down as opaque as I want in one layer. So that is just a me thing, I think. I'm just going to have to do more layers. But I do really like these. They're a pretty basic range of colors, being only 36, but I think you would find enough to do what you would like to do. I'm just doing this randomly. I'm going to go in with a darker blue as well. But considering this is a fairly dark blue underneath, it is covering pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with Arrtx products. I've mentioned before that their 126 coloured pencil set is one of my favourite sets of pencils, even compared to super expensive, well, the super expensive ones that I own. They compare very, very well. Kind of messed up the pattern by doing that, but I didn't want it to really be a pattern. I kind of just want it random. Okay, let's try a darker blue. This looks like quite a grey blue, but we'll try it. Yeah, quite nice indeed. Now the brush tip will allow you to get a fairly fine line. It's not super fine, although if you have hands that aren't as shaky as mine, you might be able to get a better line. But that's looking pretty good. I will zoom you in so you can see that a bit better. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to move on to this section down here. Let's rearrange things so you can see. And I am going to shake up some markers. Okay, let's try the yellow, because yellow is quite a test of any kind of marker. Okay. It's looking pretty good to me. So because these are paint markers, you can actually use them on all different surfaces. So you could use them on pebbles to do rock painting, you could use them on ceramics or glass. What else? I can't think of any other surfaces right now. Okay, so you can see here, hopefully you can see this, the lines are still coming through. Some of the darker blue from the pen underneath is coming through. But as I said, you could probably fix that with a second coat. Or at least, you might not be able to completely fix it, but you could at least knock it back a bit with a second coat. But it does go down very smoothly, and the ink flows really beautifully out of the nib. I'm really enjoying the process of using them, which is great. Let's just try this orangey, reddy, corally colour that I chose. This one seems to be a little bit more streaky. Maybe I didn't quite shake it up enough. One thing I do like about acrylic markers is you can, I mean, you can with most things, but you can go back in and kind of clean things up pretty well because they tend to cover each other pretty well. Like, I'll be able to clean up these lines once I do the shape behind. I'm sorry, I'm one of those colorers who kind of needs to move their book around while they're coloring, which isn't very helpful while you are filming. See? Because I've got to keep adjusting. But I only really seem to be able to get not perfectly straight, but fairly straight lines if I have my arm at a particular angle. Is anyone else like that? I seem to do better at drawing lines downwards towards me than doing straight lines away from me, or at a horizontal way. And let's just do this blue section and get this little shape finished. Okay, so you do have some streaks, but I'm pretty impressed actually with how the paint comes out, and I'm sure that once it's dry it won't be quite as streaky, but compared to other markers, I think they're actually correct in that they are less streaky, you get less lines. They are fairly opaque, which is pretty impressive. So I give these a double thumbs up. Whoa, a double thumbs up. Let's zoom you out. And yeah, so the Arrtx acrylic markers, they do have a number of different ones. So if you're looking for these in particular, they are the liquid ink set. They do only just kind of fit in here. They kind of need to be done opposite ways round. But yeah, so I'm pretty impressed with these. I would recommend them. So if you are interested in checking them out for yourself, I will have a link to them down below in the description. And I want to say another big thank you to Arrtx. I do have one more product that they sent me that I'm really excited about sharing with you. It's something in another brand that I use a lot of, so I'm really interested to see the Arrtx version and compare them. I might have a new favorite, who knows? So yes, the Arrtx acrylic marker set, liquid ink with no pumping. I like them. Well done, Arrtx. So let me know if you have any questions about these. I'll do my best to answer them in the questions below, in the comments below, I mean. And that's it from me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.